Welcome to the Starting Over podcast. I am your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is the show that we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of Heroclix. It is nice outside, as December can be here in Kansas City. Probably my last weekend in a while. I'll be recording this show from Kansas City. I'll be heading to Topeka here very, very shortly. Definitely very shortly. To get some employment. Like I said to people before on previous broadcast and on the blog, will the show still be coming out? Yes. Is the show canceled? No. Will things be a little touch and go? Possibly. So, just letting you know that, things get a little shaky. The blog will be consistent. That's startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. And you can always get content every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday. Friday or Saturday, depending on if I'm doing tournaments or not. And I'm always going to be able to get that stuff out to you. Okay? Alrighty then. You might say to yourself, Dark Logos, what's today's topic? What is it? Pure and simple, we're going to talk about Streets of Gotham. Why I like it, why I hate it. And we're just going to go look at some figures I think are interesting. Yes, I was supposed to have Dan on, but Dan has family things. Alex is a little bit busy. I could always get George, but you don't always want to go to the well. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to abuse people. You got to respect people's time. And I don't always want to hold him up. We have great conversations. I really enjoy when he comes on the show. And even when we talk in private, he's one of the great guys of Heroclix. Just in general, George Massey is a great guy, but I don't want to wear him out. So we're just going to go with some pure analysis on the set. And we can go into some implications into the final month of No Man's Land and what that means. All right. So Streets of Gotham, what do I like? I like that the set is small, and believe it or not, I don't like how much it costs, but I like that the set is small. The other thing that I like is there's some you're really looking at Streets of Gotham of providing you with, as one of my friends put it, support. You're not getting the big beater. You're not getting the second or third string attacker. Really, what you're really getting out of Streets of Gotham is figures that fit a very niche role, that do very specific things, so that you can try to fit them into a bigger strategy. If you look at Streets of Gotham and it's like, wow, I'm going to find something in there that I can build a whole team around, I think you're going to be really disappointed. So it's not that type of set. It's not that type of set. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay. The first figure that we're going to be looking at is the GCPD officer. The GCPD officer is interesting. The main reason it's interesting because of the options that you get with the dial. And those are things that I'm really starting to like, is getting multiple facets on your dial. So now side A you get 4 clicks, side B you get 5, depending on what you need. They can be ridiculously awesome for 30 points. All right, let's look at side A. Minion. Remember your basic training. When a friendly character with a police keyword and a higher point value is within 8 squares, GCPD officer can use leap, climb, and willpower. So that's pretty cool. Now, here's the thing, though. Someone didn't see the power, and I think correlated with the right dial. So never mind. I'm looking at the wrong dial. So that is the minion power for the attack. That's the one with the longer dial. I was mistaken. Then minion, learning the ropes. When a friendly character with the police keyword and higher point value is within 8 squares, modify GCPD officer's attack value by +1. If that character is named Commissioner Gordon, modify his speed and damage values by +1 as well. Now, you already have like a 1 damage, and then getting your attack up by 1 is sort of okay. So you could like running shot with a 9 attack, willpower, and 2 damage if you land next to Gordon. But is that part really worth it? Not as much. Now, I will say this. On the 30 points with the Remember Your Basic Training minion power, with that 5 clicks, that is some good mastermind fodder right there. I am not going to front. That is some excellent mastermind fodder. It's cheap, easy to heal. Can take a pretty solid hit. So the other one, really, I would say, is if you have a running shot team and you just want to, and you have Gordon, Commissioner Gordon there, but I think there's room for improvement, but I still think overall it's a good piece. Next up is Lady Blackhawk. And you might wonder, like, okay, Lady Blackhawk, that doesn't make sense. You're talking about the Fast Forces version, right? No, I'm not. Lady Blackhawk has a trait. When Lady Blackhawk is a pilot of a vehicle with the wing speed symbol, modify its speed value by +2 and its attack value by +1. Now, here's what I want you to imagine, okay? You start the game off. You have the Invisible Jet with its 12 wonderful movement. And you have Lady Blackhawk on your team. Okay? Lady Blackhawk gets into the Invisible Jet. Now the Invisible Jet can move 14 squares with phasing teleport. Now it gets a little bit better. Okay? So Lady Blackhawk carries all your Justice League people, because forget theme, why? Who cares about that? All your Justice League people on turn 2 up 14 squares. Pops out, you put a Justice League person in there, and all of a sudden you can use Purple Ray. Because if you read it, it says once you made the trip, you can use it. It didn't say like immediately after, if I am correct. Okay, so if not for anything else, it's the fact that any of your flying vehicles, for those who unfortunately use the, oh my gosh, the Batwing, you can get a little bit more mileage out of it. Now I think the Bug flies as well, so you can definitely get some more mileage out the Bug. And if anything else that comes out in the future, and who knows, she might get her own little plane or something, or we might see a Black Hawk plane. They were a whole group. So yeah, we might actually see that. That could be a possibility. Nope, never mind. You can't use Purple Ray because it says when an Invisible Jet carries a character after actions resolve. One carry character who has no action tokens may be given a non-free action. Yep, that's after actions resolve. So, yep, never mind then. A man can hope. But anyway, Lady Blackhawk can still get your Invisible Jet up 14 squares in piloted mode. That's pretty ridiculous. You can catch anything in Heroclix with a 14 movement. I don't think there's a figure that can actually run away from you. So that's just something to consider. All right. Now, for those people that play the Batwing, Lady Blackhawk is probably a godsend because that sucker is horrible. And you really are going to be using the Batwing as just a means of transportation. So, yeah, hit her up, okay? Next up is Black Canary. Black Canary is useful because of not just for theme play, or that you can put her on a Justice League team or a Justice League International team for cheap. It's the fact that she has Batman Ally TA, 62 points, and pretty much has a very, very okay dial for 62 points with 6 clicks deep, willpower. Really, her sweet click is her Flurry, Canary Cry, 18D, and 2 damage with Exploit click. So let's look at her powers real quick. She has improved movement, where she ignores characters, which is sort of okay, but she has leap climb. And so this time I will say specifically, What were you all thinking, WizKids? You give her leap climb, and then do you want her to be able to still ignore characters for movement purposes, the other clicks or whatever else? You just could have said ignores characters and then taken off the leap climb. And you were probably like, well, then she can't get around hindering terrain or hit people on various situations. It's like, no, forget that. She needs to just have hard to pin down. So cost is a little bit inflated. Okay, so I've gotten that off my chest. And I don't think that she... anyway, Canary Cry. This is the main reason why you're looking at her. Black Canary can use Incapacitate. When she uses it to make a close combat attack, modify her attack value by +2, and all adjacent opposing characters are targeted. So, really, you want Black Canary with a TKer. And then you just throw her out there, have her freaking Canary Cry, and it pretty much almost guarantee incapacitate everyone around her. And this is one issue where I look at is, if you're dealing with a player that is using lots of minions and Mastermind, Black Canary is it. Like, for a while, we have, my good guy at one of the venues I played at, Proxy. He was on a Hydra rant for a good long while. And I will say this, I'm not hating on his Hydra. His Hydra, I've beaten it, I've lost to it, I've been frustrated by it, I've celebrated it. It is a great piece of tech of what he designed. But Black Canary just comes and spits in the eye of all that, because, you TK her up on her first click, and then she's just like, well, I'm adjacent to some minions in the main person, and I'm just going to put tokens on everybody. You can't Mastermind off incapacitate damage. So that is awesome. And then you can just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you get to willpower, and then it's really on then. So you only have 3 clicks of it, but that's okay. Just that alone is awesome. In-dial close combat expert and willpower is sort of nice too, but really those first 3 clicks are golden. If you get two incapacitates out of her, she's paid for her points, because now your opponent can't do as much as they wanted to. All right, next up is GCPD Detective. And why are we looking at GCP Detective? Mainly because it's cheap GCPD to put into our cop cars, baby. Oh my goodness, just goodness. All right, so on the case at the beginning of the game, choose a team ability or keyword possessed by an opposing character. GCP Detective can outwit, but can use outwit, but can only target characters with the chosen team ability. That's on the movement. Now, this is really more useful if you know that you're going into a theme situation. Okay, theme situation. So this is nice. If you're unsure of what you're dealing with, not as nice. Okay, now let's go to the second dial. Internal Affairs. GCPD Detective can use Perplex, but may only target characters that share a keyword with her and can't modify damage values. Okay? So you're getting a very cheap situational Perplex, but if you're running cop cars, you're getting Perplex from that if they're adjacent. Really, all your GCPD Perplex from whatever method that you're getting it from, your Gotham goons. I rephrase that. Your Gotham police. I don't know why I said goons. You're dealing with situational Perplex in all the cases. So what we want to really do is just say, hey, what other Perplex do I have on my team? And then sort of balance it all out. But I think that that's all pretty good with either of those dials. You get Outwit or Perplex, depending on what you need, for 37 points. So we haven't seen Outwit that cheap in a while. We've seen Perplex around in this point range. I think Lucius Fox is cheaper, but Lucius Fox has his own limitations because he's unique. So skipping down, we're going to look at Dove. Now, if you don't know why Dove is good, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. So I'm going to read it off to you, Dove. Her trait: use your strength against you. When Dove makes a close combat attack, replace her damage value with the printed damage value of her target. Hello, Galactus. How you doing today? Fine. I'm fine. You got a lovely 7 damage right there. Yeah. Can I come over and have a conversation with you? What do you mean my attacks perplexed up to 13? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What do you mean I have exploit weakness? Oh, you ignore that. That's okay. Hey, that's a cool 7 damage there. Can I borrow that? Can I borrow that right there? So, so it's really good that the fact that, yeah, she has a printed 0 damage on all of it. And yeah, you can perplex up her damage to 3. And then she can still charge and hit somebody for their damage plus 3 with exploit. And it's just like, hey, buddy, you got a nice 5 damage there. I like that. Oh, what? Yeah, ignore that 3 perplex on my damage. Yeah, I'm 86 points. I'm not that threatening. Bam! Oh, you shouldn't have tried to punch me. You shouldn't try to punch me. You know, that's is beautiful. So her first 3 clicks are really awesome. Pretty much the second click is her money click for offense. Her first click is her money click for defense, depending on what you feel like you need and how much perplex you have. She has a special power, Agile Defender. Dove can use Defend and Super Senses. So definitely her first 2 clicks, that's when you need to be afraid. Like it's worth it to throw your Pulse Waver out to kill her as soon as possible. Just kill her. Because if you let her live, she is going to just mess up your day. Now, she also has Brightest Day keyword, and for those who, I don't know if you read Brightest Day or not, she was going out with Deadman. So Deadman and Dove can have a nice date on the Heroclix team. Birds of Prey is starting to come up, so that's always good too. Mystical, now folks, Mystical, we done forgot about it. And with my, oh my gosh, I slipped into my Tulsa words. Pretty much with Mystical, it is still a viable keyword, and I think it's one of those things that since it was the hotness for so long, when people found the chance to have new hotness, they forgot about it. But don't sleep. Don't sleep. Now, is Mystical as powerful as Police is now? Or even Soldier? Soldier's still good. Or even Justice League. Who knows? We might find out in a blog post later. You know what? Here's what I'll do. By the time this show comes up, if I don't get up by Monday, I will do something about Mystical. Okay? So check that out. All right. That's enough of me gushing over Dove. Next up is Black Glove Demon. Now, Black Glove Demon is one of those minion figures that when you look at them, you're like, really? Like, what's interesting about this figure? And we're going to go into it. All right, let's look at Dial 1. Strike from the shadows. When a friendly character misses an opposing character, when a friendly character misses an opposing character adjacent to Black Glove Demon. After action resolved, you may give Black Glove Demon a free action to make a close combat attack targeting the same opposing character. So what you do is you set it up, and let's say you have a flyer. Let's say his name is Superman, and he charges carrying Black Glove Demon. Some reason he misses. Guess what? Black Glove Demon can attack. I said it. Because it's a free action. All right. So you're looking at doing that with stealth, so you can block lines of fire, and exploit, and then you get flurry later. But really, that first click, if you land one shot with him. Yeah, it's a 9 attack. He's 34 points. But it's a 9 attack. I mean, if you land any shot with this figure, it's paid for itself. If you're able to block lines of fire with that dial, is paid for itself too. All right, so let's look at dial B. We are Legion, unstoppable. At the end of your turn, you may place Black Glove Demon in an adjacent square. Now, for some people who don't understand the implications of that, let's break it down. You've already moved him. The end of your turn happens. You may place Black Glove Demon, not move, place. So there's no breakaway that's involved, even though he has leap climb. If he gets on, what is it? I think that is, Force Blast. When he gets on Force Blast, I was about to say Plasticity. When he gets on Force Blast, you can still move, place him in a different square. It's not move, it's place. And if you can see me highlighting right now, I'm really like highlighting place over and over again. Okay. Then he can go into an adjacent square. Now, a legal-based square, people, but just being able to be placed into a legally adjacent square means that at the end of his turn, if you're just like, things didn't go as I wanted to, if Black Glove Demon was, over to the right just a tad, he would block line of fire to my very wounded Wonder Woman or my very wounded Green Lantern or whoever else. Okay? Or you could just say, I need some Mastermind. I landed on Mastermind with my gauntlet. They're about to light me up. Black Glove Demon, can you move over here, please? Thank you. Now they're not going to shoot me. All right. So Black Glove Demon, really good for both dials. Just know what you're getting into. Next up is Dr. Hurt. Yeah, and you're just like Dark Logos. You are just pulling some of the oh my gosh, these are horrible figures. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right, so Dr. Hurt is nice. Why is Dr. Hurt nice? First off, let's get into it. He has the underworld keyword. So on your villain teams, you can get a bunch of different figures just out there together and moving, and for very, very cheap. With underworld keyword, they can deploy quickly. The problem comes in is I think the biggest problem with underworld is there are not enough people that play it to really understand how deadly it can be if you're able to swarm. Now, the other problem, too, with Underworld is it needs wild cards the same way that Sinister Six and, Batman Enemy. I'm looking at it. That's the worst part. Need wild cards. Because instead of on attack, you really just need wild cards to help you get your movements up. So, anyway... 6 movement, caps out at 6 movement, not that much. Dr. Hurt isn't going anywhere. He's got to set up his clinic. Okay. 11 attack. Okay. Now you're like, okay, 6 range. All right. Mastermind. What? Yeah, Mastermind. And 2 damage with the special power, Ultimate Foe. The Ultimate Foe. Dr. Hurt can use Outwit, Shape Change, and Support. Let me read that again. Dr. Hurt can use Outwit, Shape Change, and Support. Where have we seen this before? I think it was Alfred. Alfred had something similar to this, but he couldn't use Outwit. And also he could heal 4 squares away. But Alfred didn't have a 11 attack. So Alfred was able to do the shape change and support and 4-way shenanigans. But if we look at the 11 attack is straight up pretty much Donald Blake. If you look at the dial, plus you can attack. You have 2 damage. And it's going to be hard for them to pin you down and actually do damage to you if you have Mastermind fodder. So they have to decide if they're going to try to hurt you or stop you from healing with their Outwit. But then also they have to draw a line of fire to you. and your stealth. Like really, when it comes to a support piece being survivable on itself, by itself on its own, I would say Dr. Hurt is probably by far one of the better pieces. And I have not even read his trait yet. The hole in things. Yes, I said it. That's the trait. The hole in things. Dr. Hurt can use mind control. I was about to say mastermind. When a friendly character adjacent to Dr. Hurt makes an attack roll that misses, and the roll's word was doubles, remove an action token from a friendly character that is not the attacker. Okay, so we'll just read this one more time. Dr. Hurt can use mind control. Boom. When a friendly character adjacent to Dr. Hurt makes an attack roll, boom, that misses, boom, and the rolls was doubles, remove an action token from a friendly character that is not the attacker. So, here's what'll happen. You attack with your gauntlet wielder. Bam! Lands an attack. You put a token on. Next, you go out and you see you have a character that's just sort of sucky but has long range. And it attacks. Okay? And it misses because you target the highest defensive figure and it has like an 8 attack. And you know you're going to miss. So boom, you miss. Now, if the roll is doubles, now this is the rub. If the roll is doubles, so you're sort of hoping, this is like your gamble, that you can get the doubles. Okay? If that misses, then bam, you can remove a token from your gauntlet wielder. Now, I'm going to tell you this. This is not something to build your team around. The mind control, if you really want to do that, fine. Okay, that's another really level of defense, because if something gets too close or too threatening, you can just mind control it. Perplex. Well, you can't perplex, but you can just mind control whatever you need to mind control. All right. So overall, Dr. Hurt can really, really, really be interesting. And I know you're like, well, Dark Logos, you didn't talk about the Psychic Blast or the Exploit or the Indomitable. You don't need to know all that. Okay? All you need to know is support, shape change, outwit, stealth, mastermind. Everything else is like icing on top of icing on top of sprinkles. Okay? Do you need that much sugar? No. But will your cavities love it? Yeah. All right. And your stomach a little bit until you get sugar sick, but that's okay. So your big point games, Dr. Hurt is a super medic. Just super medic. So yeah, think about him. All right. Next up is Huntress. Yes, Huntress. Running shot, 5 range, 10 attack, 17 defense, 2 damage, and then it has the ability called Kneecapping Isn't Killing. Huntress can use Close Combat Expert. When Huntress hits a target with a ranged combat attack, modify the target speed by -2 until the beginning of your next turn. Now, here's the thing with Huntress. You have to understand. This is how it works. Huntress can use Close Combat Expert, right? But really, you're not going to use that too often. You have Running Shot your first 2 clicks. Then you have Flurry and Close Combat Expert. You're not going to be using it too much. Okay? Now, when Huntress, hits a target with a range attack, which isn't going to be doing much damage, she's going to impede their speed. Now, this is what I want you to understand, people. She just has to hit. She doesn't have to do damage. She just has to hit. So, let's say, you're chasing down Mighty Thor. And you know that Thor can get back to the medic. It's almost guaranteed that Thor's going to get back to the medic. But Huntress is there. And you're like, if I can land this hit, I won't hurt Thor, but Thor won't get in enough spaces to get back to the medic. That's how you have to look at it as. Okay? You're looking at your attack, your ranged attack, as something to impede your opponent's retreating ability or impede your opponent's approaching ability. Now, with a 5 range, the only ones that's really, really going to hurt is chargers, which can really be annoying because all of a sudden when that charger comes at them, at you, you have let's say they have a 4 movement, not 4 movement, an 8 movement, so then cut in half, that's 4. Then -2, that's 2. They're not going anywhere. That charger is pretty much dead in the water. And now they have to do normal movement to get in a position to follow up the following turn or wait a turn before they can do a melee attack. So you can use Huntress as a way of making melee figures a little bit more inept. Now, you have figures with full move charge. That doesn't really affect them that much. So just think about that as well. So Huntress, good. Batman TA, yay. Okay, keywords. Bat Family's on the come up, but it's only a couple of sets deep. So they're really pushing that. Birds of Prey, like I said, on the come up. Not necessarily the best overall. All right. Next up is Harvey Bullock. Yes, we did skip the question. Yeah. Harvey Bullock, if you checked out the blog, you will definitely know why Harvey Bullock is on the list. I'm not going to spoil everything from the blog, but do check that out. And you're going to see something very interesting with Harvey Bullock, is that Harvey Bullock, this is why you're paying for Harvey Bullock for 32 points. Let me show you how we stake out. Harvey Bullock and an adjacent friendly character who possess a keyword or a team ability in common with him, which means you can't copy it or use Cypher or anything like that. You have to possess the team ability. With him, can use stealth. Hello, everybody with the PDT ability. My name is Harvey Bullock. I'd like to teach you how to do a proper stakeout. Hello, people with the detective, Gotham City, or police keyword. Come with me. I'd like to teach you how to do a proper stakeout. What do you mean all of a sudden Alan Scott, Green Lantern, and stealth? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah. Now it's one click. You can't push off of it. You have to be very, very careful. But, oh my gosh, think about this, people. Harvey Bullock with Beta Ray Bill and a bunch of police. Let it marinate in your soul just a tad. Just let the juices flow. Dark Logos, starting over podcast. Frustrating your venue since 2 years ago. Since 2010. All right. Next up is Scarecrow. Scarecrow is very interesting, mainly because Scarecrow puts us in a position where we can do multiple things for a moderate price. Now, yes, I do hate it that they just screw over Batman enemy. That's like, oh, you share attack values, but none of your attack values are worth a darn. Gosh, so frustrating. But let's look at it. I'm not even going to attempt to say it. But he has improved movement. It ignores terrain and ignores opposing characters. So that's sort of nice, but he doesn't get that far. He only has like a 7 movement. His trait is Fear Gas. At the end of your turn, more of that at the end of turn stuff. This is some goodness. Scarecrow can use Smoke Cloud as a free action. Adjacent friendly characters occupying a hindering terrain token placed by Scarecrow's Smoke Cloud are considered to have a lower point value when Scarecrow uses Mastermind. For some reason, my brain is mixing Mind Control and Mastermind today, so I apologize, people. All right, so now here's why this is interesting. Bear with me. It's the end of your turn. Your Batman missed the crucial shot that it was supposed to hit. Your Scarecrow is sort of just blah right now. You're on your first click. You're looking at probably getting lit up because you're off hindering terrain. End of your turn, bloop, 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 smoke cloud, free action, bam. Okay, now, for some reason, you might want to say, I really like my first few clicks, Batman, and you're sort of crappy right now, but you're 88 points, and you're in the gas, so guess what? I can mastermind to you. You have invulnerability, you're good. You have toughness, you're good. So what we can see is that we can be very flexible in our mastermind fodder with him. The end-dial poison really, really is useful because combine him with Lockjaw and Hairball. Do you have new lamp? Not exactly. But you do have some silliness that can happen because, again, you can do this as a free action. And it doesn't have any stupid, oh my gosh, I have to have no tokens free action. I hate that. Anyway, next up, Maniaphobia. Special power. Scarecrow can use Incapacitate as if he had 3 targets. When he does, instead of giving each hit target an action token, he may instead deal penetrating damage to the targets equal to the number of action tokens on each target. So pretty much what will happen is that you use Incapacitate. You can use Incapacitate, but you have to make sure you hit somebody with tokens. So if you see somebody with 2 tokens, then yeah, it's a good idea. So like turn 1 on your first click, you want to use the Incapacitate. And if your opponent hadn't cleared, well, never mind, they're going to clear the token, or they're going to try to do something else and push. Now they have 2 tokens, okay? Then you push again so that you can use the Incapacitate. If once you get on that 10 attack, you should be in a solid position to just light them up and do that penetrating damage. So overall, I like that Scarecrow. I think it's one of the best Scarecrow that we've had in years, next to the Blackest Night Scarecrow, but that's not really Scarecrow. That's like souped up Scarecrow. So, yeah. Next up is OMAC. Now, I feel OMAC is useful for several reasons. First off, he's 96 points and 9 clicks. Yeah, 96 points, 9 clicks, which means you're paying about like 9.5, maybe 9.3 points per click. Okay, now here's the downside. He has what we call a Billy click. For all those who played old school Shazam, and he just has to click past that activation click. But he has Indomitable. But that's okay. So you can just push off of that. Then he goes into OMAC style. Okay, OMAC style is wonderful. Not quite Gungam style, but it's OMAC style. And OMAC style is beautiful, and here's why. 4 clicks of charge after you get off his Billy click. Close Combat Expert on click 2. Invulnerability on clicks 3 and 4. Super Strength on click 5, 6, and 7. Regen on clicks 8 and 9. When you regen at max from your click 8, you can go back to your charge, quake, invulnerability click. Yeah. This OMAC for 96 points with Indomitable. Yes, he's grounded, and he has 8 range. Okay. In a set surrounded by stealth figures. Now is not the time where the sun will rise on OMAC. Okay, his keywords are robot and warrior. Robot is the only good keyword. But OMAC overall, for how much you pay, does a ridiculous amount of stuff. So ridiculous. So keep him in mind. Don't play him right now. Don't play him right now. Keep him in the back of your head. When Amazing Spider-Man comes out and everyone's thinking about Draculas and mummies and werewolves and all that other jazz, bust out OMAC and watch people just crap a brick. Because for all those who remember M11, for how cheap M11 is, this is Neo M11 with upgrades and shenanigans. And the shenanigans is he shouldn't be this deep in this meta. Okay? For under 100 points. You're talking about technically you're paying for 8 clicks for 96 points. If I can't convince you on that, I don't know what I can. I don't know what's going to make you motivated to use OMAC. And really, in all honesty, he's also pretty easy to heal. He, you know, definitely with all the medics out there with 10 and 11 attack nowadays, he's pretty easy to heal. So once he gets to that 16 defense and he has plasticity, you just run him away. And then he just gets to wherever he needs to be to get healed back up. But really, 4 clicks of charge, people, in super strength, quake, pulse wave, in dial, phasing, in indomitable. We haven't gotten anything this good in a long time. So, OMAC, that's what's up. Commissioner Gordon. Oh man, Commissioner Gordon. You are cheap. You were so cheap when teamed up with your doppelganger, Lieutenant Gordon. All right, so let's look at him. On me, officers. Commissioner Gordon can use enhancement and running shot. Give a friendly character with the police keyword a power action to move up to half of their speed value. If you do, and they end their movement adjacent to Commissioner Gordon, you may give that character a ranged combat action as a free action. Now, this could possibly break something. Okay? And now you can, you know, it's a friendly character with the police keyword. Okay? Now, here's why I could say it possibly can break something. Because Commissioner Gordon is the one giving the power action. That character is not actually, the character that you're targeting is not doing the power action. So, let me explain to you why this is broken. And why I don't see why this figure is a unique. This figure should have been unique, just like Lieutenant Gordon should have been a unique. And the following that I'm about to do is going to make you lots of enemies, because people will hate you after they figure out you're kidding me, right? Prepare for shenanigans. You have Lieutenant Gordon. You have some figure with the police keyword. Let's just say it's Nova, okay? And Nova either has the gauntlet or utility belt. Let's say utility belt right now, since that's the new hotness. Nova does the double power action, is on prep time. He's not on flurry. He's on like outwit or something like that, okay? He's +2 stats. It's all good. Lieutenant Gordon uses get these men into position. So he moves Commissioner Gordon and Nova, because it's a free action. Okay. All right. So now those two are in a nice position. Okay. Lieutenant Gordon moves up again. All right. So now, you know, your next turn comes, you clear off, you're sort of straight, you're waiting for your moment. Your moment comes, it's turn 3. Nova has this +2 stat. You're looking down the line, you're like, bam, I know what I need to do. Okay? Nova, use Lieutenant Gordon, get these men in position. Commissioner Gordon, running shots, does what he does. He's in position. I'm sorry, he doesn't running shot. Sorry, I apologize. He doesn't running shot, because if he running shot, he can't do what he does. Okay, so Commissioner Gordon moves into position. Okay, Nova running shots Nova running shots. Okay, takes his shot. Commissioner Gordon gives Nova a power action so that he can move half his movement next to Commissioner, so he can get adjacent to Commissioner Gordon. Boom, takes a second shot. And he gets enhancement off of it. Okay? And you're like, oh my gosh, Dark Logos, that's so confusing and complex. Let's break it down even more. Commissioner Gordon gives a friendly character with the police keyword a power action to move up to half their speed value. If you do, and they end their move adjacent to Commissioner Gordon, you may give that character a ranged combat action as a free action. Okay, you can have a character technically can only do one power action per turn, but you're giving the friendly character a power action to move. Now, if it's ruled that you can't do that, fine, more than fair. Okay, you also probably couldn't do it on a double token, but what it does imply is that you can say, "Hey, figure with police keyword, you're over there and you have no move and attack, but you have a lot of range. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Commissioner Gordon, I'm going to use on me officers to allow you to give a power action to move so you can move next to me. Now you have enhancement and you can do a running shot. Plus you have PDTA. So either way, either the long, complicated way or the other way that I said, either way, pretty much Commissioner Gordon is strong. He is really strong. Now, the other question comes in, and this is really unclear, and then really, I have a link on the blog, and I know it's like, Dark Logos, you're whoring out the blog. I have a lot of good stuff on there. But there's a link where I pretty much say, well, pretty much they don't care anymore. You can see that some of the reasons why the wording is confusing is because they don't have anyone that edits or really just looks at their stuff anymore to make sure that it makes sense. So, and I feel sorry for the rules arbiters because the rules arbiters are the ones that have to clean up the mess. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Guy Gardner. Oh, well, one last thing about Commissioner Gordon. Endow Perplex. Once you get off your army officers, you have Perplex, which is pretty good. You have some leadership. You have Indomitable. You can always get around to where you need to get. So, all right. Next up is Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner. This is fun. Now you might say, well, Dark Logos, why is this fun? Well, let's look at the first thing. He has two-fisted charge. That pretty much is what sets him apart. Two-fisted charge. Guy Gardner can use charge and flurry. There you go, the beautiful combo. When he uses flurry to attack the same character twice, damage dealt by the second attack is penetrating damage. Yay. Free, exploit weakness. Okay. Next, his trait is I carry this team. When Guy Gardner is adjacent to a character with the same keyword, unless they have already been modified by this attack, modify Guy Gardner's damage value by +1 and the adjacent character's defense value by +1. So you only get to buff one person, sadly. But it's okay. It's okay. Now, Guy Gardner getting a +1 to his attack value can be very, very, very useful. Definitely, when he does his charge and flurry, since he flies, he can just carry somebody with a keyword with him. I'm sort of sad he doesn't have police keyword because pretty much all Green Lanterns are police, and that would be really, really awesome. Like Noah could escape Guy Gardner. Oh my goodness. That would be ridiculous. Lieutenant Gordon, Guy Gardner, utility belt. Oh my gosh. And then his second attack is penetrate. Oh my gosh. That's auto dead. That's auto dead. Oh man. Oh, a man can dream, can he? A man can dream. But having the +1 attack is nice. Giving the +1 defense to the adjacent figure. Think of it like this. Barter does her power action, double power action. She has 2 tokens, and just happens that Guy Gardner just swoops in right behind her to give her a nice +1 defense. So now she's ridiculously high. I think she'll be a 20. So yeah, think about that. And also think about this as well. They can't negate it. They can't negate that you have +3 defense on Barta. So something to think about. Next up is Busting Heads. Guy Gardner can use Exploit Weakness and possesses Battle Fury. Sort of lame, considering you're getting all that free Exploit Weakness earlier. But you get TK, and it's sort of... Now, this is what sucks. You get TK, but you can't do ranged attacks with TK. You can only move objects around or move characters around, but you can't do a ranged combat attack because you have Battle Fury. That's whack. That's really whack. So, anyway, overall, Guy Gardner, 8 range, indomitable, great stats. You know, overall, I think he's a really good figure for you to consider. Is he good meta right now? No. Too much stealth. If you have some stealth busting goodness, there you go. But too much for the meta right now. Fun for your Green Lantern teams. And this is the first Guy Gardner that I would say, like, go out, invest, get. All the other Guy Gardners have been sort of weak. Yeah, they've been sort of weak. And, well, the one from DC 75th with a chainsaw is not bad. He's still not bad. He's not the greatest, but he's not bad. So, yeah. Next up is Vixen. Vixen is on the team, not just because Justice League International is on the come up as well. I think about it more and more. They're really trying to fill them out. For Golden Age, they're really good. Now, you have a lot more options. But anyway, you have Tantu Totem. Give Vixen a free action, and she can use any standard power possessed by any character on the battlefield with the animal keyword until your next turn. And as long as that character possesses that power, when she does, at the beginning of the turn, roll a d6 on a result of on a 1, deal Vixen 1 unavoidable damage. Now, here's where it gets fun. Oh, Vixen has charge. Oh, there's an animal that has flurry. Vixen has charge, flurry, and super strength. Oh, there's an animal with psychic blast. Vixen has a 8 range and can use psychic blast. Oh, there's an animal with imperv. Vixen now has impervious. Oh, there's an animal with super senses. Freaking a ton of them. She can now use super senses. Okay, so pretty much she is like Animal Man 2.0. Her and Animal Man on the same team, you can do some really strong stuff. All the shortcomings of Animal Man, you can now just say forget it. Vixen covers it. And this is where the big thing I will say that comes in with Vixen that makes her ridiculously good is this. She has in-dial regen and poison. She can get back to her top click if you really get lucky with your regen. And if one of your other figures on the board have regen, you can just regen. Just poof, regen. Your top click. There is nothing to stop her from always either A, having charge flurry for 4 clicks or charge, or hypersonic speed. There's no excuse for her not to have some form of movement attack or some form of support or some form of damage reduction. Whatever you need, just put it on your team. Just put it on your team, and Vixen will use it. And you have to understand that if you play like 2 of her for 74 points, it makes me cry inside. It makes me cry inside that I can't put her on my Black History Month team because she needs animals. But other than that, it's beautiful. Other thing that I want you all to consider is that if you're able to get Flock of Bats, she can get all those Flock of Bats standard powers for cheap. So putting Flock of Bats on your team, definitely the one that gives you poison. So her having poison up front and the one that gives you super senses, those two. Those are going to be very, very useful. She also flies. So she can carry and taxi. So, yeah. Overall, Vixen is a great figure. And then also, at the end of her turn, when she does roll for... when she does roll for her totem, you can probability control that. It doesn't say that it cannot be re-rolled. Okay? So just think about that. Skipping down a bit, we're going to the team packs. Because Onomatopoeia, Black Mask, and the Architect, I can't even say it. Wow. Architect. There we go. The Architect does not really suit the meta, period, nor do they fill any solid roles. Unless you really want to use Onomatopoeia for the society. Ugh. Even then, I'm like, he's on the team because you ran out of points. You were low on points, and he could fit. First, we're looking at Void. Void is going to be essential for your Wildcats team, and then also for the future of movement. Okay, if you don't want to deal with vehicles, Void is an excellent taxi and support piece. 12 movement, starting off with phasing, drops down to a 9. It's very solid defensive numbers. Her defense goes up as she progresses along her dial. She can always heal back through region to her top dial. She has a trait, which is Quantum Transporter. When Void uses a carry ability, she can carry up to 4 friendly characters. After Void resolves a move action, she may immediately use support as a free action. Yeah, I said it. Support as a free action. That's just beautiful. And she's unique, which I am so glad she's unique because, man, 2 of her on a team would be ridiculous. Now here's the rub. 8 attack. 8 attack, 70 points. But how many times have you wished that you could just move who you want to heal away and then heal them after you moved? Now you can. Now you can. Next up is our special power, Precognition. Void can use Outwit, probability control, and super senses. When an action resolves, after she uses any of these powers, roll a d6 that cannot be re-rolled, and on a result of 1, deal Void 1 unavoidable damage. Now, this is where I'm like, is she'll always have the power. So it's not like, oh, I took damage, now I don't have it anymore, now my outwit's negated, or my probability control's negated. It's the fact that her super senses are tied to this. Like that's the part that I don't like. But it also explains why she has all that regen at the end, those 2 clicks of regen. The other thing that you want to look at is this. For 70 points, you have support, a taxi, outwit, probability control, super senses. 70 points. I want you to try to fit in outwit and probability control for under 70 points. And tell me how that goes. Just do it. Just do it. Tell me how that goes. You have to fit both outwit and probability control, and you have to be modern age. Don't jack with me, people, because I know in golden age you can do it. Okay. Rookie. Was it Rookie Destiny and like a Batman, and you can do it. Okay. But in modern age, outwit and prob under 70 points, you can't do it. She she shifts things. She shifts things a lot when it comes to how we're looking at support pieces. Because now it's not just, oh, okay, I have a taxi. I have a taxi that comes in, phases up, drops 4 of my people there, outwits, and heals somebody, and can prob an attack. And if you try to attack her, she can get super senses. And she might take 1 for doing all that. Yeah. Yeah, that's gold. That's gold. Gold, 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 gold. Next up is Imp. Spartan Warrior Spirit is sort of crap. So if you got that team pack, sort of sorry for you. Yeah, I'm sort of sorry for you because Spartan Warrior Spirit, they sort of crapped on him. Yeah, they crapped on him real good. It's like, but he can perplex himself and he has Indomitable and Charge and Fly. No, they crapped on him. Imp. Imp is awesome. Imp is so awesome. He starts off with invulnerability and stealth. He has a special power called High Lord. Imp can use Outwit and Perplex, which is nice. Now think about this. You have Void phasing in with Outwit. Then you have Imp coming along for the ride and having Outwit. Anyway, in Perplex, when he uses Perplex, he can only target opposing characters. And that sort of sucks with the only targeting opposing characters, but oh well. Now, next up is his special power, which is on defense, which is Immortal. Imp can use Invulnerability and Regeneration. And guess when he gets Regeneration? Click 2. He gets this power on click 2. When turning the dial, if this click is revealed due to damage taken from an opponent's attack, stop turning the dial. This power can't be ignored. Now, why is this hilarious? Because Darkseid has found a new friend. You're like, hold up, wait. It says that he only stops turning the dial when he takes an attack due to opponents. Correct. But he has Invulnerability and Regen. Oh, Darkseid's going to take 5 damage. Okay, Mastermind. Imp, you're taking 5 damage. No, boss, I'm taking 3. And since it's at the end, since I haven't done anything this turn, I'm going to regen. Oh, I'm right back at top. Note how much BS that is. Now, does that beat, Aussie Hulk? No. It doesn't beat Aussie Hulk, but Aussie Hulk takes time to set up. This is like from jump. And then if he's stealth, so then they really just can't, unless they have anti-stealth, they really just can't run up and like shoot him. So when it comes to Mastermind, this guy is boss. And his defense is ridiculously low, so you can heal him. So you look at it. You have Outwit, Perplex, Invulnerability, and Regeneration. And on top of that, you can't Pulse Wave him. To do ridiculous damage to him. Yeah, get this guy. If you pulled the team pack, yay for you. Bravo, hand claps, round of applause. Awesome. Next up is David Kane. If you can get 2, let me first say, if you get 3 and you feel charitable and you want to give me 1, I'm taking donations. I really am. Now, why is David Kane awesome? He's Batman enemy with an 11 attack! Batman enemy with an 11 attack, people! Oh my goodness, why is that so rare? Freaking starting, I'm mad! I'm so mad, why aren't there more of you? Why aren't there more of you, David Kane? And why did they have to put you in a freaking team pack and not in a normal set? Because WizKids hates your wallet. That's why. They hate your wallet. Anyway, he has stealth starting off, which is beautiful. 8 range, which is beautiful. 11 attack. Psychic Blast, beautiful. Combat Reflexes, more beautiful. Indomitable, beautiful. Sharpshooter, beautiful. Exploit Weakness, beautiful. This whole starting click is beautiful, and we haven't even looked at his trait yet. 5 clicks, your hefty price, okay, 5 clicks. Full dial stealth, Batman enemy, okay, alright. League of Assassins, oh my gosh, you making me cry. Slap that on there, no one can attack you if you're next to a wall, except for a melee attack. They can't even target you for outwit. Oh my gosh, and you stealth, if you get stealth too, oh my goodness. It's beautiful. Oh, okay, improved movement. What? Oh gosh, if you could see me now, there's like a minor tear coming from my right eye. Shadow Assassin. Improved movement, ignores hindering terrain. Oh, awesome. Oh gosh, so he can move through rubble to take his shot. Always taking the perfect shot in the perfect place. Yeah. Okay, next up is Deadly Mentor, and this is why you really want him. That's his trait. As you reveal your force, choose a friendly character with a lower point value. So it has to be 75 points and lower. David Kane can use Enhancement, Leadership, and Perplex, but he can only affect the chosen character. David Kane can use Shape Change when he is adjacent to the chosen character. So let me get this straight. I have a character who on his own is already baller. Right. Like I would pay 76 points just for his stats, okay? All right, for everything he has, I pay 76 points. Just raw. Then you're going to tell me he ignores hindering terrain. Yeah, I'll definitely pay that. Then you tell me he has League of Assassins keyword, Assassin keyword, Martial Artist, and Soldier. So he has a really good array of teams that he can be on. You've convinced me. This is just like, please slap me if I get this and I don't play this with Deadly Mentor. So you're saying I can give a cheaper figure like that 75-point Green Lantern from Justice League set, the new 52 Justice League set. I can give that figure enhancement, and I can use leadership on that figure to remove tokens from that figure. Plus, I can perplex that figure. Plus, I get shape change next to that figure. And I'm stealth. And if I have League of Assassins ATA, they can't shoot me from range. And I have Psychic Blast. Why am I not playing this sucker now? And he's not unique, so I can play two. Two people. If there is a figure that comes out, I'm not gonna lie to you when I say this. If there is a figure that comes out and it has decent stats, not even wonderful, like even a 9 attack, 3 damage, decent range, can probably see through stealth or even not, and just has okay stats and has some form of prob or outwit, prob and outwit. Mark my words. Mark my words. Someone in a 300-point game is going to play two of these David Kanes, that figure, and a utility belt and whatever little jazz they can fit that they can fit, and then just raffle stomp people. Just raffle stomp people, and it'll be even worse if it was a Batman enemy. Is KG Beast Batman enemy? Let's find out. Because if he is, I think we found that magical person that can team up with him. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And KG Beast is 82 points. So, oh no, 82 points. So you can't use the effect. So anyway, you find somebody that's 75 points that can do the awesomeness. Oh my gosh, KG Beast. I was so hoping that you were lower. I was so hoping. Oh well, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. Alright, next up is Lady Shiva. Lady Lady Shiva's okay. Charge, blades, 18D, 2 damage, which is good, and it puts her in that Gamora range of you're going to be a little afraid of her when you see her starting off. She's unique, which doesn't make sense why she's unique and David Kane is not. That makes no sense whatsoever. The leopard blow, a warrior's death. Sounds like something from Kung Fu Panda. Lady Shiva can use flurry. When she does, and the result of the attack roll is doubles. I hate that stuff. Damage dealt by the attack is penetrating damage. Yay, flurry blades. That's it. That's all you can really do. Flurry blades, but man, whatever. You get steel energy, but I think it's sort of a waste. Doing a penetrating 2 damage, whatever. 67 points for League of Assassins, martial arts assassin keyword. Okay, that's cool. I think really with Lady Shiva, and I know I sort of did a half-butt way of saying it, but in all honesty, Lady Shiva's main advantage is that she will scare the bejesus out of your opponent, and you just take her and let her do her thing, and your opponent's going to try to kill her. If you play her right and you keep her next to walls and use that League of Assassins TA, she's going to be very survivable. She won't even have to need stealth as long as you pack that League of Assassins TA. Next up is Katana. Katana. Now, you might say, like, why aren't you talking about Black Canary or Starling? Because they're really not that good. Really not that good. Yeah, they're not that good. Katana. Why are we looking at Katana? She has no movement attack. Correct. She has Indomitable. Yep. Blades. Yep. Exploit. Yep. Outwit for a couple of clicks. Yeah, okay. We are looking at Katana for clicks 2, 3, and 4 only. You pay and 71 point Batman TA and you can put her on an Outsiders team, but she's really just better off. It would have been better if she had Outsiders TA than Outsiders than Batman TA. But oh well. Here's where it comes down. Sweeping slash. Katana can use Quake. When she does, roll a d6, subtract 2, minimum 2. And, oh gosh. And the hit characters are dealt the result instead of 2. This attack does not knock back characters. So, you roll a d6, you subtract 2. Let's say you roll a 6. You've done 4 damage to everybody adjacent with your mini Quake. And they don't get knocked back. So next turn, you're going to do it again. You roll your d6, you roll a 5, so you do 3 damage to everyone adjacent. They don't get knocked back. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. So, I mean, you can't underestimate it. That the fact that you can, with solid placement, get moved in or TK'd in or even move in yourself, tie up some figures, and then do this mini Quake thing. So, overall, it's a lot of damage that you're just doing at once. So, don't underestimate that. Next up is Batman, number 47. And there's a lot of things that are good with this Batman. But we're really just going to ignore all that good stuff. And you can read it for yourself. And what we're really going to look at is no one rides but me. Because all the other Batman stuff is cool. You're going to use it anyway. So I don't even have to sell you on that. Okay. But what I really want to sell you on is no one rides but me. When Batman becomes the pilot for Streets of Gotham vehicle number 1 Bat Cycle, the vehicle may be given a non-free action this turn. So here's what you do. You run, charge, running shot, jump around, whatever you're doing, outwitting, smacking people upside the head, do all that good jazz. The Bat Cycle is a little ways away. you dial in on your Bat computer and you're saying, Alfred, send me the Bat Cycle. The Bat Cycle comes up next to you. Or the Bat Cycle like shot some dude and you just, you running shot it or charged next to it. When you become the pilot, you can give it a non-free action a non-free action that turn. So you can just, boom, okay, I can give it a non-free action. Now again, yes, okay, it could be errated to do something else where it can't have already done an action in that turn. Okay, fine. And this is why they need to get some things sort of clarified, because the way that it's written, it almost sounds like, oh yeah, I can do an action, it can do an action. Oh, Batman is adjacent to the Bat Cycle. Let me get in it. Oh, I can do another free action. Another non-free action. So, again, do I want to be wrong? Yes. But if it's possible, oh gosh, watch people be pissed off at you. Because it doesn't give any limitation. Because Batman can be like, Alfred, send me the Bat Cycle. Get in the Bat Cycle, and then bam, you run your injured Batman to the starting area. So that's something that I want you to consider. And then just for linear sake, you to understand, I'm going to just read the Bat Cycle ability real quick so that you can understand when it's piloted. Bat Cycle, first pilot ability, familiar controls, prerequisite Batman ally team ability, or Batman family keyword. Bat Cycle can use stealth and outwit. So it can, the moment Batman gets in there, he outwitted, then the Bat Cycle can outwit something else. So you can technically outwit again. Then pilot ability. And then the other thing I want you to understand too is because the prerequisites for that is Batman ally team ability. It doesn't, and this is where I have to see on AC Realms and I don't have the card, and someone can let me know if they have this. Is it printed, the Batman ally team ability on the card, or does it say Batman ally team ability? Because if it's printed, the team symbol, then then it has to be printed on the dial. If it's not printed, that means Cypher becomes very ridiculous because he can give somebody Batman ally team ability if your opponent has it. But anyway, or Batman family keyword. So pretty much what you do is, beginning of the turn, you have a Batman figure in here. They outwit something. You outwit some figure's defense. Clock that figure. Outwit's not needed anymore. Pop out that pilot. Put in a new pilot that still has the prerequisites. Outwit something else. So that's pretty cool. Next is pilot ability. Help rebuild it. Prerequisites: Alfred Pennyworth, Batgirl, Batman, Batwoman, Bruce Wayne, Robin, or Nightwing. Bat Cycle modifies its attack and defense by +1. So once that Batman jumps into this Bat Cycle, that first click you have running shot, 6 range, 11 attack because it is a base 10. 11 attack, 17 defense, energy shield deflection, 3 damage. And you can give the Bat Cycle a non-free action. Yeah, okay. That's ridiculously good. Now here's one thing that is, you could tell that they didn't read, or that, the left hand didn't know what the right hand is doing, is that the Bat Cycle has the Batman ally team ability, but when you put somebody with those keywords in, or the Batman team ability in, you get stealth and outwit, which is sort of repetitive because you have Batman ally team ability. So it's a little overcosted, but in the era of team ability negation, man, who's kidding? They messed up on that, but okay, whatever. Next is the special power, Trailing Darkness. Bat Cycle can use Smoke Cloud as a free action. Oh gosh, this is BS. It's so bad. Bat Cycle can use Smoke Cloud as a free action immediately after the resolution of an action in which it moved. So you could use this with Running Shot. Okay, but the first hindering terrain marker must be placed in a square moved through by moved through by the bat cycle this turn. Oh, I moved through these squares. Oh, I can just put this hindering terrain underneath me so that yeah, that I can pretty much just yeah, be stealth. Gosh, dog is so broken. So for those who pulled the bat cycle, cheers to you, man. Hand claps, and I'm taking donations if you get an extra. Or trades. I've got enough stuff. Yeah, I got enough stuff. So let me know. We'll do something reasonable. But I need to buy some team packs first. So we'll see. We will see. Next up, I sort of skipped him. I did skip Deathstroke. Yeah, I skipped Deathstroke, yeah. Why Deathstroke in brief? He ignores Henry Terrain for movement. He can copy League of Assassins from his other Assassin team pack friendlies. 6 range is okay. Sharpshooter is okay. The energy explosion starting off is sort of lame, but it's triple target energy explosion. So him and Bruce Banner will be getting together to have some fun. Up front, Perplex is awesome. Then he gets Outwit near the end. End-dial Exploit and Regen is awesome as well. Psychic Blast with 3 damage. That's pretty good. Attack from cover. Deathstroke can use stealth when he occupies Henry terrain. He can use charge and running shot. So he already ignores Henry terrain for movement. So he can charge through Henry terrain. He can running shot through Henry terrain. Overall, it's not bad. There's a lot of options that you can use with him. So with that improved movement and that charge and running shot combination, I have to recommend Deathstroke. 147 points is a little steep. But definitely for your society teams, you got to run them. Now, I will also say society can be run from like 500 points and up very efficiently. 1,000-point games, definitely, he's going to be awesome. Next up is Starfire, because I bounced around. Starfire is 83 points of how the heck did this end up being 83 points? Her special power is Living Stellar Flame. Starfire can use Energy Explosion. When she does, damage dealt is penetrating damage. Another friend of Bruce Banner. And I'm serious about that because you have a 2-target Energy Explosion that she does a base 3. So with Bruce Banner, then what you can do is carry Bruce Banner, get, some attacks perplexed up, running shot, do 2 penetrating damage to 2 targets, and if they're all clumped together, the first batch of splash will hit. And then doing 2 penetrating, and then the second splash of damage would hit, doing 2 penetrating, which means that you could do a ridiculous amount of penetrating damage if they're clumped together. So think about that when you're looking at Starfire. Add in Outsiders TA, Energy Shield Deflection, beautiful. One of the best Starfires that we've seen. Now, what does suck, people, is that she does not have Teen Titans. No Teen Titans. So she can't go on your Teen Titans team, but for all you Teen Titans fans, don't worry. You're going to get another Starfire here in less than 4 months, so don't stress. All right, next up is Robin. Robin is awesome because he has all sorts of goodness that goes along with his motorcycle. So, but let's just go ahead and look at him. It's a 4 range. That's not that good. Teen Titans, TA, okay. He has Bat Family Detective, Gotham City Pilot, and Teen Titans keywords, which is pretty good. Has the trait Snag and Drag. When Robin uses Incapacitate and hits after actions resolve, Robin automatically breaks away and may move 4 squares as a free action and then place the hit character in an adjacent square. So you can do sort of a mini... You could do a mini Nightcrawler pull. Now, what sucks really is this. It says when Robin uses incapacitate. He has incapacitate for 2 clicks, and those clicks are 2 and 3. That's really the downside, because it doesn't say Robin can use incapacitate. The next thing he has is That's My Bike. When Robin becomes the pilot for Streets of Gotham vehicle number 2, Robin Cycle, the vehicle may be given a non-free action this turn. So you're back with the same comments that I was saying about Batman. Next is Road to Detective. Get the pun because the bike. And anyway, the combat values of the opposing the combat values of opposing characters adjacent to Robin cannot be modified if the modification would increase the value. So you can pretty much just drop him next to people and negate their RCE, Close Combat Expert. I'm going to say this, and please understand where this is coming from. This is anti-utility belt tech. A little bit of anti-gauntlet tech, but this is really anti-utility belt tech, because you can't do the charge, Magog, flurry, come in and do ridiculous damage with Robin being adjacent to the main target if Magog has to become, or any other figure has to become adjacent. So if you have, Void, or let's say, maybe a piloted, what is that one very, very broken vehicle that gets us ridiculously downfield? Oh yes, it's the Invisible Jet, piloted by none other than Lady Blackhawk. You can just drop Robin next to whoever's going to do the charge, flurry ridiculousness, and now you just nerf their utility belt and anybody else's stats. And so now they don't have a +2. That also is going to hurt Big Barda too, as well, come to think about it. Like, that's another good way to nerf Big Barda. Just drop Robin next to him, and it's like, you can't modify your stats. Thank you, have a nice day. Now, you might say, well, Outsiders does the same thing. Correct, but you can't Outsider someone in stealth. You can place Robin next to somebody in stealth. So that's something to consider. Also, you can just get on that Robin cycle and just take off. So anyway, and just for, linear thought, we're going to go look at Robin cycle. Robin cycle in piloted mode. Piloted mode is baller. Autopilot is okay, but piloted mode is definitely baller. Piloted mode. Pilot ability. Bat computer assisted target detecti. Prerequisites: Batman ally team ability or Titan team ability. Ooh, that's nice. Robin cycle can use enhancement. Yay! It can also use perplex. Yay! But it can only modify its own attack and range values. Boo! But we have a 9 attack, 3 damage running shot starting off in a 5 range. So that's not bad. So we can get a 10 attack. So we're good. Or we can get a 6 range. Next, pilot ability. Tear gas canisters. Prerequisite: Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Robin, or Robin. What's up? You hating on Bruce Wayne and Batman there? He bought it for you. Robin cycle can use incapacitate. When it uses incapacitate, if the attack hits the result of the when it uses incapacitate, if the attack hits and the result of the attack roll is doubles. More of that shenanigans, which is stupid. You may also place an action token on an opposing character adjacent to the target. That part, tear gas canisters, is sort of lame. So don't even worry about that. What we're looking at is Bat computer assisted target detecti. That's all we're looking at. That's what we want. We want some people with some Titans on there and some Batman ally. That's what we're looking for. So, I mean, the stats are pretty good. Definitely when you get that range combat expert, you would want to perplex, so you can just perplex up that range to a 6, so you can just range combat expert somebody for 4. So, going back up, and we're going to look at GCPD motor officer. If you get the trend, it's because of the motorcycle. But he's all right by himself. 33 points, really, really cheap. Now here's the cool thing with a GCPD motor officer. He works well with the bike or the cruiser. So don't just think you have to use him with the bike. He can use everything on the cruiser. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. His trait is special training. When GCPD motor officer becomes the pilot of pretty much the motorcycle, motor cruiser, the vehicle may be given a non-free action this turn. Everything I said about Batman and Robin, just cut and paste. APB. When GCPD motor officer makes a ranged attack, after actions resolve, modify the defense value of the target by -1 until the end of your turn. So if you shoot first, okay, you don't even have to hit, okay? You just be like, I see him running away with the money. I'm firing shots. Poof. Shots fired, shots fired. We hear shots fired. You know, pretty much everyone has a pretty much a -1 to that target's defense when they go and shoot on him. So he's always, if you get a couple of these, just really, you really do want a couple of these. If you can like do some trades with people that don't know what they're letting go, or giving respectful trades. But yeah, give respectful trades. I'm not going to promote hustling, but getting 2 or 3 of these figures, it's going to cripple some teams. It really will. Now, you might say, well, how's that? Just by you shooting, it reduces the target's defense by 1. So if you have enough actions, now note, I'm saying this, if you have enough actions, having 3 of these on a team and you have that really, really high defense figure that you need to kill, just have them all pop off, and then they all have PDTA. So you just line up your final shot where you're in between 2 of them and you negated their defense by 5. So you're like, by 5, okay, we have 3 officers. They all shoot. That's lowering their defense. Oh, no, you couldn't, because you would need to plus your defense. So you couldn't modify their defense again. So modify their defense by 2. You can running shot in between 2 officers, get 1 more PD reduction, so it's -3. Okay, so you can do it that way, or you can say, hey, I got all these PD officers. Let me take a shot on something else. Or if I have multi-target, I can target the figure with the really low defense, and I can target the other figure and then get the bonus from the other PD. There's a lot of options that you can do with these motor officers, and they are dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. So look for them in a store near you. All right, next up is Thomas Wayne. I am going to prize support. You're like, Dark Logos, we haven't had a show this long in ages. Yeah. Thomas Wayne is awesome, mainly because you have 43 points. Friendly adjacent characters can get willpower, and you have support. Thomas Wayne does not have willpower, so keep that in mind. And I don't think you can do flurry in support. I really don't think you can. If you can, then lo and behold, we have found something broken, and people will fight tooth, nail, claw, gun, knife, nuclear bomb for him. So come hard, really come hard for him, okay? Radar monitor, if you don't know why to play this, go to AC Realms, read it, and I don't even have to explain it to you why you need to play this. Just, if you're playing the utility belt in the meta, definitely use it. And last but not least, and really the most interesting piece, I will say, out of all the Streets of Gotham, if you're going to say what is your big hitter out of this set, it is Batman and Nightwing. Everything else has sort of been relatively cheap. You don't have that 200-point figure in Streets of Gotham, which I'm really glad. But this figure is by far one of the best duo figures that we've seen in a long time. Now, let me break this down to you. He has Batman Family keyword, Bloodhaven keyword, Gotham City keyword, martial artist keyword. So you have some flexibility, and you can put this figure into multiple Batmobiles, Bat Cycles, Bat blah blah blahs. Okay, where I feel that the strength of this piece lies is the Voltron mechanic. You're not starting off with them on the field. You're starting off with like the Nightwing from you're starting off with the Nightwing or Dick Grayson from from Batman or from the Fast Forces. You're looking at those Nightwings or Dick Graysons, and you're looking at veritable Bruce Waynes and Batmans that you can use. That when they come together, they can be 176 or more. The issue I look at with them is this, and why we're looking at the Voltron mechanic and not starting off with them. Starting off with them with the duo attack and trying to get them downfield and maneuvering and just a bunch of stuff. It's tough. It's really tough. And it's really easy just to look at this piece as, this is what I'm starting with, so I have to just accept these are limitations of this piece right now. No. Okay. When you get mid-game and Batman and Nightwing are already up there, and let's say your Batman is prime and your Nightwing is not as prime, and you have the utility belt on one of them, and you just look at your situation and you're like, dang, this is rough. But I know that I can come back and win if I merge. And definitely if you're looking at like a Bruce Wayne combined with a Nightwing, then definitely, if they're the last two on the field and it's near the end of the game, yeah, there you go, right there, merge. And I think that would be legal. I don't have, now please bear with me, people, I don't have the figure. I don't have the card, so I don't know what the merge requirements on this figure is. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. It would make sense that Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson could merge and turn into Batman and Nightwing, but who knows? It's WizKids. So the cool thing is you can, at an end game with either, let's say you have Dick Grayson and a beat up Batman, putting those two together as a in-game cleaner. Your opponent isn't going to think about that. All their figures are beat up. They're beat up, they're worn down, they're on clicks 4 and 5, but they have, more figures than you. All of a sudden, you bust out Batman Ally Stealth, perplexing up your defense to an 18 and Indomitable with charge. And then knowing that once you get adjacent to multiple figures, which you want to do, you're just going to duo attack, perplexing up your damage. And it's like, oh, first attack for 4, next attack for 3. Thank you very much. So really look at this figure as a utility figure for your Batman family teams, or if you're going to be playing any combination of Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Nightwing, Dick Grayson, and put it off to your side. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm telling you this, that your opponent will not think twice. They will not think twice that you have this figure, okay? And then really I would say, and I know this has nothing to do with Streets of Gotham, I would say the other next prime example of this is Avengers Prime. Avengers Prime is the next example of this, where Endgame happens and all of a sudden Donald Blake is on top click and you merge, and then it all pops off from there. All right, oh man. So that's mostly it. Now you might say, I told you, like, what are the cons, and then looking briefly at Streets of Gotham. What we are going to do, people, is since we're already over an hour and a half mark, I'm going to do a part 2 to this episode. Okay? And so then we're going to go into the cons and then tell you the implications of No Man's Land. Now, this is a big year-end extravaganza. You're at home bored. and you're like, man, or you're really just left with a mild hangover or a headache from too much cider from New Year's Eve. So, all right, people, not done yet. I will check you in part 2.